We're having chicken enchiladas tonight for dinner, and enchilada sauce is one of the hardest things to find organic in the store. Actually, I don't think I've ever found it organic, and I thought, why don't I just make it myself, because it's super easy. So I'm gonna show you how to make your own organic homemade enchilada sauce. So because I've been doing the Daniel fast, I've been converting a lot of my dishes to vegan. And so that's how I'm going to be making this enchilada sauce. Here's a couple reasons why I like it. If you end up making this a couple days ahead of time, you don't have to worry about using chicken stock, which has a timetable that you have to use it within. Anything, beef, chicken, you have like a 3 to 5 day window of being able to use it or eat it. And so if you make it ahead of time, then you make the dish and then it sits in the refrigerator, you may exceed that 5 days. So I'm using vegan ingredients so that you don't have to worry about having animal products in it or dealing with those issues. To start, we are going to start with Earth Balance makes a great non-GMO vegan and soy-free butter substitute. You could use regular butter if you were going to make this regular, and you're going to take 2 tablespoons of this and you're going to put it in your pot, all right, on the stove. And then you're going to take 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. You're gonna get that going and melted, and then you're gonna take a can of organic tomato sauce, got this from Costco, and you're gonna dump that in. Once your butter substitute or your butter, your 2 tablespoons and your 2 tablespoons of oil start to get bubbly and mix together and melt completely, you're gonna add in your can of tomato sauce, all right? And then you are going to add in a cup of vegetable broth, all right? You could use chicken broth if you wanted to. I'm using vegetable because I'm trying to keep this vegan. I am loving this better than bouillon. It has, it's a vegetable base, and basically it functions like a bouillon cube. So you take 8 ounces of water and you take a teaspoon of the bouillon and you mix them together and it makes basically broth. You could add this directly in, but I am going to do the slurry because we're gonna be adding 2 tablespoons of flour eventually to this to thicken it up a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my broth very slowly and do like what I did with the chicken and dumpling video. If you've seen my chicken pot pie video, I did it for that to help thicken it up because you don't want lumps. And if you add the flour directly in, it might get lumpy. So we're gonna go ahead and make a slurry now with this broth and then dump it in. So 2 to 3 tablespoons of your flour into your broth and then add it. I've added my 2 tablespoons of flour to my broth. As you can see, it went from a really dark color to now this light milky color. I'm glad I added it into this because there were a lot of lumps and that would have been a pain to put into my enchilada sauce and then try to get all those lumps out of the enchilada sauce. I did knock it down to a simmer, all right, because it was starting to really bubble, and you want it to simmer, but you don't want it too bubbly because you don't want it to scorch the bottom. So I'll slowly add this in, and then last but not least, you're just gonna add in some seasonings, all right? You're gonna add in a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of cumin, and a teaspoon of chili powder, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Seasonings are in. I am going to let this simmer for a little while, about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna let it cool, and I'm gonna use it for later tonight. So it's gonna sit for about 6 hours before I put it into my enchiladas. But look how easy this was, you guys. You can make your own homemade enchilada mix if you have a can of tomatoes, you've got some butter, you've got some chicken broth or some veggie broth, and you've got some seasonings. There you go, make yours today.